Hello everyone. Here we are learning about the revision of the thorax prosection or dissection. Here we can see I am standing on the right side of the cadaver, and this area can be located easily. Here the lateral side of the thoracic cage, we can see the wall of the thorax can be located easily, and the direction of fibers can be seen. It is considered as the external intercostal muscle, and the serratus anterior muscle has been removed. Now we are able to see with the direction of fibers, we confirm it as the external intercostal muscle. In the same manner, from anterior aspect, the sternum, these are the ribs from above downwards. Internal intercostal muscles fibers can be seen here. The direction of fibers from medial to laterally directed. This is a rib above, this is a rib below. They are taking origin from the lower border, the costal groove, and going to insert on the upper border of the rib below. Can be seen clearly. So this is the direction of internal intercostal muscle fibers. This is about the anterior wall and the lateral wall of the thorax. Then we lift up the anterior thoracic wall by cutting on the both bilaterally. Then we can see the posterior aspect of the anterior thoracic wall. The shining appearance is because of the parietal pleura. And here you can see the sternopericardial ligaments, and here we can see the internal thoracic vessels, vein as well as artery. Artery also can be seen here. Then we try to trace the internal structures or internal or innermost intercostal muscle. Here we had already traced here we can see the nerve along with which we are able to trace the artery and vein also. So nerve can be seen clearly, and as we have reached the nerve, we have crossed from innermost intercostal and from superficial to deep internal intercostal muscle. In between them we are able to find out this intercostal nerve. This view gives us a appearance of the lung, right lung as well as left lung. The right lung with its apex directed upwards and the base directed downwards, the left lung also. This area is totally occupied by the pericardium. You can see this pericardium. After reflection of this pericardium, we can see the heart. Then this is a left lung. This is interrupted anterior border can be seen. Then the lingula. Then this is the diaphragm, thoracoabdominal diaphragm. Later on, by keeping our fingers at the roots of the lungs, we hold the roots and we cut the roots from both the sides for the right lung as well as for the left lung. That's so that the lungs can be removed easily. Now after removal of the lung, we are able to see the structures which are present at the level of root. This is the bronchus. Then this one is the artery. And these are the veins. Veins can be seen. Now we can keep it in anatomical position even. We are holding with our left hand, as the apex is directed upwards and the base is directed downwards, and the anterior border anteriorly and the posterior blunt border posteriorly. Here we can see the mediastinal surface, and in the mediastinum we were able to see the pericardium in the middle mediastinum. The gap between the two lungs, the gap between these two lungs is considered as the mediastinum, which is divided into superior, inferior. Again, inferior is divided into anterior, middle. In the middle we are able to see the pericardium and the heart, and the posterior mediastinum as well. Here we can see the mediastinal surface of the left lung. So now I am trying to hold it in the anatomical position. Here in this way we are able to keep it in anatomical position. Apex is directed upwards and anterior border slightly tilted medially. Then the inferior border and the posterior border, the mediastinal surface as well. Regarding the cavities, the thoracic cavity includes the pleural cavity. Visceral pleura is attached to the lungs, whereas the parietal pleura is attached to the thoracic cage itself. Then the pericardial cavity and the mediastinum itself. So these are the cavities of the thorax. Then we continue with the external features of the lung and the heart. External features of the lung can be seen. So heart can be seen here with its external features. Then we can see the lung external features. Once again we'll repeat. This is the apex, this is the base, then this is the mediastinal surface, then this is the costal surface, this is the ribs impression, and the mottled black color appearance also can be seen. Then anterior border, the posterior border, mediastinal surface and the costal surface, and even the heart also, the right border, inferior border, left border, right side is also considered as a right surface. Then the superior aspect, the arch of aorta, the pulmonary trunk, and here we can locate the ascending aorta, arch of aorta, the right auricle, the right ventricle, this one is the left ventricle, and here we can locate the left auricle also. And we'll turn it up. This is the diaphragmatic surface, and this one is the base. Now as we consider it as the conical shaped structure, the apex is directed downwards and the base is directed upwards. Base is directed posteriorly, we can say. Base is directed posteriorly. Now we try to hold it in anatomical position, and so here in this way, so we keep the heart in our hand so that the apex is directed left side. Apex is directed left side. This is the anterior surface or the sternocostal surface, the base, then the diaphragmatic surface which is on the palm, then the left and the right border as well. Here we can see we define it clearly. It's very easy to keep it in anatomical position. The apex is directed left side. Usually we locate the apex of the heart at the level of left fifth intercostal space, 9 centimeters from the mid-sternal line, and my thumb and my index, in between them we are holding the apex, and my palm consists of the diaphragmatic surface, and here my 4 fingers are indicating the inferior border, and my little finger, the first 3 fingers, first, second, third and fourth fingers are indicating the inferior border, and my left little finger is showing the right border. Now it is the anatomical position. So I repeat, apex is directed downwards and left side. In between my thumb and index Then my three fingers are indicating, these three fingers are indicating the inferior border, then the little finger is indicating the right border. And now we can see the chambers, especially the right atrium we have to see. Here we are at the right atrium. This is superior vena cava opening, this is the inferior vena cava opening, and here we are opening and reflecting to see the musculi pectinati and the crista terminalis even. Crista terminalis from inside, this is musculi pectinati, the valve, the three cusps also can be seen here, and we can see the coronary sinus opening also. My index finger is showing the coronary sinus opening, and this is the fossa ovalis, this is the fossa ovalis, and around which the limbus fossa ovalis. From outside you can see it has a sulcus terminalis. From inside, the same projection in the form of crista terminalis. Arteries, from here you can see from the ascending aorta the right coronary artery, and here between the right and left ventricles you can trace the left coronary artery even. We repeat once again. From the anterior thoracic wall we can see the external intercostal muscle, then the internal intercostal muscle, then we have reflected it, then we have seen the parietal pleura, then internal thoracic vessels, and the internal or innermost intercostal muscle, then the intercostal nerve. Then this is view in which we can see the cavities, the mediastinum, the pleura, visceral pleura is there, pleura has been removed, parietal pleura, the pleural cavity, then the pericardium is there intact, pericardial cavity, then the right lung and the left lung. Here we can see the right lung, and this is of the left lung, and here we can see the heart with its apex and the base. Base is contributed by the left atrium and the right atrium also, and the apex is contributed by the left ventricle only. So this is about the revision. We will see even the posterior thoracic wall with its contents like the azigote system of veins and the thoracic duct and the chain, sympathetic chain and all. So thank you very much.